Fernando,
Silky, how's
how
it
are
going?
you? I'm well. How are
Oh,
you?
very, very good, man.
Oh boy, I'm so excited to talk to you. First
Yes,
off,
it's a pleasure meeting you.
oh, folks, this is a pleasure. So, if you folks don't know, my name is Silky Creamy, and welcome to my channel. Kind of a very niche reviewer when it comes to shaving products and skincare products, and um, I was able to corral this gentleman here onto this Zoom call to talk. And I want to formally introduce you folks. This is Fernando, who is the owner and artisan of Master Soap Creations. Thank you.
How's it, everyone, man?
What is, oh, let's
Pleasure to
go.
be here.
Everybody, I'm just gonna start off right now. Everybody in the US, there's the buzz of Master Soap Creations is there, and I think a lot of people, there's still a lot of people who are not aware of your brand, but obviously you've been
Yeah.
highlighted on some pretty big influencers channels like Chris over at IMCDB, and I obviously have been a huge fan.
So am I. Yeah, one of the regulars that I watch, definitely.
Yes, yeah. And so we we stumbled upon your soap and we were blown away. And so I have a lot of questions, just because I'm new to this hobby, and
Okay.
I'm just glad that you're here to kind of one, share about your brand, and then two, like kind of maybe help some of us understand how things work, because you're based out of
So
South.
am I.
Okay.
I'm also new to the hobby, believe it or not.
Really? So
Yes.
how new? Because I'm only like 7 months in.
I'm about a year, just over a year.
Just over a year, and you are producing. Oh, there's my phone going off. Sorry, everybody. You can tell this is a live call. I've got a spam call. Oh, call from spam risk. Anyway, so, oh gosh, I just got totally derailed on my thought.
A year. I was telling you.
Okay. Yes. Thank you, Fernando.
Just over a year, yeah.
Thank you, Fernando. So everybody, as you can tell, this is live and unedited. It's just for your pleasure. How could it just is first off, how did you get into doing soaps? And you're only a year in, and you're making soaps that are up there competing with well-established brands. How did you get into the hobby?
Into the hobby. I think Corona for that. So not everything that came out of Corona was bad. Well, especially in my situation. We went when Corona hit and the country went into a lockdown. I spent a lot of time at home, and with that came a lot of searching on Google. And I've always been interested in shaving products, but I never really went into the vintage side or the wet shaving side. Or I used to use those cartridge razors, and I'd already bought a shaving brush before, but I was one that used to use like the gels and the foams, and with this, I actually ordered my first wet shaving kit from Razoris in Turkey. My first razor was a Merkur Futur, and I ordered myself a little Samog boar hair brush. And I absolutely loved it, man. I've ordered myself a few Arco soaps. And I was really enjoying it. So much so that I actually decided then to start my own little business of selling shaving supplies,
Wow.
So I actually became the distributor for Yaki in South Africa.
Okay.
And I started to notice, like, you know what? My competitors have razors, they have brushes, they have software as well, whereas I didn't have software. So I actually got an artisan in South Africa to make me soaps. He I don't know if he didn't really have a lot of experience in making shaving soap, but he tried, and it was good soap, but it wasn't something that wowed me. And I had a little bit of background on soap making, and I did a lot of research, and I started doing a lot of experimenting. And one day I did this formula that I tried the following day. And when I lathered it up, I thought, damn, I think I've got something.
So that's awesome. Something,
you know? Mm-hmm. And I started doing a few tweaks here and there. And eventually I got myself a leather that I personally hadn't used the shaving soap as good as that, you know? So I labeled it. I did some artwork, and I released a couple of scents, and I started selling to the local market, to South Africa, people who would buy off my online shop. And my regulars started sending me messages saying, yes, you know, this soap is spectacular, man. This is as good as the international brands that I've tried. This is better than some of the international brands that I've tried. And in the beginning, I didn't really believe them. You know, I thought, man, I think they just want a discount. I think they're just being nice. They want a nice discount on their next purchase.
But it's true.
But, you know, and then people started to recommend, why don't you send some of these soaps off to some of the YouTubers? You know, if you don't believe our word for it, maybe these YouTubers will change your mind. You know, let them try it out and see what they say. So the first person I actually sent some soaps off to was Ken Surfs.
Oh, cool.
And he seemed quite impressed with them. And then I went on to send to Kevy Shaves and Paul H. Wow. And everyone seemed to be enjoying it, you know. Mm-hmm. And eventually then YouTubers started sending to each other, try out the soap. You know, I know you've sent a couple to CBD.
Yes. CDB. Yeah. Chris over at I Am CDB, correct.
Yeah.
Who I consider to be the godfather of wet shaving. But anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
He's very interesting to watch.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and that's more or less how it went about. Before I knew it, I was supplying West Coast shaving, which that I considered quite that. Like the first international shop that I was supplying was actually West Coast Shaving. I got in contact with Jared there at West Coast Shaving. I sent him a couple of soaps. He really enjoyed them. It wasn't long before I was supplying them. And also got in contact with Carmine at Top of the Chain.
Mm-hmm. Oh, nice.
He also...
Canada.
He started stocking those soaps. And hopefully soon they'll be also available at Shaving Time in the UK. Me and Dave there are busy with the certification. Unfortunately, when it comes to the UK and Europe, there's a lot of rules and regulations that, you know, need to be covered.
This is something that I really want to learn about. And so, you know, well, first off, I mean, what an amazing story, Fernando. I mean, this came out quite quickly, and it started organically just during COVID. And you just, you know, hey, try this out. It's really good. You stumbled upon a base that is, to me, amazing. And
thank you.
The other thing that I've noticed is your scents are just like insane. I mean, they're really good scents. And so you're very talented in that sense, because I mean, I have not had a soap that is not pleasant and really good. So kudos to you. I mean, wow. I mean, you're born to do this. Obviously you have a gift. And so let's talk about, because I'm very curious, I'm learning right in this, and I think a lot of Americans don't understand what it's like to sell products in the European Union. And there's difficult. So give us an idea of like what is required, because it's not like you can just be like, okay, here, you know, shaving
time. Here are the products,
Shaving time in the UK. Here's my cans. Can you just sell it?
I would be selling it Shaving Time months ago if that was the case, you know.
Right.
First of all, it involves quite a lot of money. to have these products tested and certified and approved. You practically have to have permission to sell in UK in the European market. David Shaving Time is actually having them certified for me. I really appreciate that he's doing that. We're certifying, I think, 17 cents for now of soap and the matching splashes. But it's been a couple of, we've been at it for a good 3 months. It's taken long. They've got to test the product. You've got to tell them exactly what ingredients go in it. You've got to work with a chemist. The chemist needs to do testing on the product. They need to know exactly what preservatives, what ingredients, what percentages. Everything has to be disclosed, and every ingredient on that list has to be approved.
Wow.
You know, as far as they see, they say that it's a cosmetic, and if it's going to go on anywhere on your skin, then there's rules and regulations that need to be followed and certifications. Yeah, but I think Dave's done it for a couple of other, worked with a couple of other artisans to sell there in the UK as well. It's taken quite some time. But yeah, I think it's going to be, it should be up and running soon. We're making progress.
Yeah, I know it takes time. And, you know, I work for a very large company, a global company, and I'm very familiar with the regulations that are involved. And that's one of the things. It looks like we lost him here, but I'll just keep talking. This is one of the things that I think our viewers in the United States are not aware of. Here in the United States, you know, you can just basically put together a product and you can sell it, and just, you know, follow the local taxes and all of that. And whereas in the EU, you actually have to get certified, and your products have to be basically they have to be tested, and the different chemicals that are used within your products and the different, you know, like you was talking about tallow and all this kind of stuff, it has to be, you know, basically certified, and that it's not a danger to individuals in the EU. And so yeah, so exactly. for Fernando, I was just basically just telling them how it's different in the United States. You can just make your product and then put it online, put it on Etsy, and anybody can buy it.
Exactly, so easy, yes.
Yes, whereas in the EU, they have regulations and things have to be certified before you can even sell them in the EU. And so
yes, and there's certain amount of there's certain percentages of fragrances and essential oils that you can't go over that percentage. There's a whole bunch of rules.
Okay, so this is kind of leads into the whole discussion that we were talking about. And, you know, the Italian shaver is someone who's very familiar with this and who I'm working with. And also, you know, there's some viewers that are part of this community, like Lee out in Thailand. He was like, it's not a matter of the artisans not wanting to make stronger scented, or even Johnny over at Lothar Grooming, same thing. It's not the fact that they want to, they don't want to make stronger scented soaps. They're not allowed to.
Yes. I mean, if they test it and it's over the percentage that it's allowed, they'll decline the certification.
Unbelievable. Wow.
Yeah.
So very interesting. Okay, so that's, I'm glad to hear this straight from someone who is actually trying to get certified. It takes time, and you're at the mercy basically of that commission on whether or not you can get your products done. So I wanted to show, so I did find you on West Coast Shaving, right? And it was just perfect timing for me because I was just getting into the hobby, and I saw this Master Soap Creations, I don't know, $14.99, $16.99 for 5 ounces.
Made in South Africa.
made in South Africa, very exotic, like, wow, very cool. Tallow, oh boy, this is all, right, the buzzwords for the Americans. And so I bought them and I tried them and I was like, holy smokes, this stuff is amazing. So what I wanted to do here, folks, sorry, is, so these are the new scents that you recently stocked at West Coast shaving, and you've got, you know, dark blue. And so what I've noticed was your first batch, you had a lot of cologne dupes, which is, I think, smart, right? A lot of consumers like these soaps, but you also had cherry freeze, which was amazing. I mean, that cherry was really, really good. But how do you come up with your scents? Like what went into the decisions? Okay, I'm going to make this one, or, you know, I'm just curious how that worked. Did people ask for it?
A lot of brainstorming, and a lot of asking myself, what would I enjoy? What do I think the fellow shavers in the community will enjoy? You know, a lot of testing and a lot of experimenting and a lot of sniffing all these different scents. And yeah, the dupes I actually made, I try to make dupes because they're very complex. They've got a very good complexity of scent to them in layers. Whereas, and I also make more simplistic scents like grapefruit zest, for example. And frosted spearmint. Yes, grapefruit zest is just grapefruit essential oil. That's all that's in there.
Oh boy!
For people who don't want something too complex. That one, Nordic Croco, that's the David of Cool. That's one of the dupes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's a.
What is this guy here? So, if folks, again, I just got this in. I haven't reviewed these yet, so I'm getting some help here before I review them.
That's Paco Rabanne. It's also a dupe. It's Paco Rabanne Black XS.
Okay. Wow. So what have you ever thought about maybe getting into vegan, or is that way ahead of anything you're thinking about doing right now? Or
look, no offense to anyone that's vegan, but when it comes to shaving soap, well, in my opinion anyway, you know, I'm known for a soap base that's got a great performance, and I think that eliminating tallow as an ingredient in a shaving soap is a big factor. You know, tallow plays a very big part in the actual shaving soap. So just by taking, I don't like the idea really of taking out that tallow ingredient from a shaving soap. But yeah, no, in the future I am open to catering for the vegan market as well.
True.
But it will be maybe 1 or 2 cents, you know. I won't go crazy. I know the performance won't be as good as the tallow, so that already puts me off making, you know, so I can cater for the vegan market. That's definitely not a problem. But like I said, it will just be 1 or 2 cents.
So I think one of the questions that I think a lot of people are asking, and I know that something that Chris at IMCDB has mentioned, and it's been, look, it's coming from South Africa. It's coming from a faraway place. How can you sell something so cheap and so, you know, almost like 5 ounces or 6 ounces of product?
Yeah.
Price per ounce. Yeah, 6 ounces, right? So the price per ounce is very low, coming from how is that? It's just,
and you know, believe it or not, one of the main factors of pricing coming from South Africa is shipping.
Right.
Is crazy high. It works out a bit better for companies, big companies that are buying from you. They take in bulk, but sometimes if people want to buy from you like a normal individual customer, that the package is only going to be 1 kilo. Usually, the freight is actually more expensive than the product that they choose, which is a bit off-putting. So I don't know. I still, believe it or not, I still make a decent profit.
Well, that was my next question: is are you making money? You know,
yes.
Yeah, hopefully you are.
You
Okay,
know,
very good, very
I
good.
have to. You know,
Yeah,
but I don't want to rip anybody off at the same time, because I'm also a wet shaving enthusiast, and you know, it's not like I'm in the hobby as well. So I
right,
also want a good quality product, and I don't want to pay much for it either.
right, right.
You know, so it's the same sort of product that I want to offer the community. You know, a good quality product for an affordable price. And I don't know, maybe I'll just get the ingredients at a good rate, or I know where to source them. But yes, I do make a decent profit margin.
Oh, that's very good. That's very good. So you have delivered on that, right? You have delivered on a cheap product, well performing. You know, just it hits all the boxes. And for me, I just was blown away because the first time I lathered it, well, one, it was the price per ounce was a huge deal. I mean, I was like, wow, this is like sterling type, you know, price per ounce, which was amazing.
Yes.
And then it's coming from South Africa. Then I went and I lathered it. And it was just so thick, and you know, it is a really great lather. And then the scent, to me, that's the thing that blew me away, was the scents were really good. And so yeah, I mean, I was just wondering, how did you get that? I mean, do you have any background in doing any cosmetics or scents, or is it just something you just learned on your own, or?
To be honest with you, it's something that I just learned on my own. I'm quite hands-on. I've always been very hands-on. I'm good with my hands. But yeah, no, I just threw it. Look, it took a lot of experimenting. I'm not going to lie. Throwing this scent and this scent and this scent together and seeing if it works out. I've had a couple of failed batches. You know, before you get a winning formula, you throw away a lot of soap.
Yeah,
I can tell you that.
Correct.
Yeah, but the trick is also finding establishments that sell good quality scents. So my dupes actually come from a lab. They specialize in making fragrance oils that are dupes of designer fragrance.
Interesting.
Oils.
Okay, so I've always wondered how this works. If the artisan just kind of like plays around and makes it own, or can you just, you know, purchase the fragrance oils in that dupe, and then you're just incorporating it into your product. So very interesting. Very, very interesting.
You can, if you want to make a copy of the designer scent, it's advisable that you just use the one that's been made already. But you can also play around with them and mix them around if you want to make your own more complex scents.
Right.
You know? And then I've got another place where I buy essential oils only, you know? This place only specializes in essential oils. I know the essential oils are top quality, you know, and I only deal with places that have data. There's a whole bunch of stuff that you actually need. The essential oils need to be certified as well, believe it or not. There's data sheets that they can, if you request, they have to show you. So it's only pure stuff that I use in these soaps, you know. So
yeah, and it comes through in your product because they are high quality.
I don't take shortcuts. I believe in not taking shortcuts when I'm making this.
And then and that's why I'm, you know, I had done a video and I was like, hey, what brand should I do next, you know? And because I mentioned, hey, I'm going to be doing Master Soap Creations already because I'm just in love with this brand. And it's just awesome. It's an amazing brand. I mean, and the value is there. What is there a top seller for you yet? I know you're relatively new and you're just like, probably everything's probably sold out, right? As soon as you get it into West Coast shipping. But
well, it sells relatively quick, but I'm not very well known yet.
Yes.
I actually only started releasing these soaps internationally about a couple of months ago, man. I think it's been 4 months.
Wow.
Probably that I've released them. The first, like I said, the first stockers were West Coast Shaving. Yeah, no, there's a new scent that I've just made. I haven't released it. It's called the Chieftain, and that's also a dupe. but it's a dupe of the original first Hugo Boss that was released. And that for me is one of my favorite scents in the actual soap. It came out beautifully, you know.
Oh, really?
Sometimes the soap base can actually cover up a lot of the scent.
Yes.
And other times the fragrance comes through nicely. And this is definitely one of those scents that has come through very well. So that's actually one of my favorites. I think vintage, I don't know if you've tried vintage Lapidus.
Lapidus, yes. Yes.
Yes. That
Very good.
Is a scent. Yeah, that's probably one of my stronger scents.
It's my favorite one.
That's by Ted Lapidus. It's a dupe of Ted Lapidus. So if I had to give you my top 3 dupes, it would probably be vintage Lapidus, that new Chieftain, which is the Hugo Boss, and I've made another one called Ruby Forest, which is Daniel Red Desire. That's also an amazing scent. It came through very nicely.
Okay.
It should be available probably in the next few weeks.
Wow.
I'll make it available at West Coast Shaving.
So
top of the chain.
Oh, nice. So Canada doesn't have the same regulations as EU, right? It's just the EU has their very
it's just Europe and
their strict regulation. Yeah. Okay. Now I noticed that on this latest round, and folks, I will be reviewing all of these soaps like in the next week or two, because I'm very strict. I don't open these. I have no idea what this smells like. I don't open them until I film them, and I can't film them. I mean, I can't use them until I film them, because it's my initial impressions. But anyway, I can't wait to get through this. Yeah. But I noticed that in this round, you had released the aftershave, the splashes, and non-alcohol. Is that just for the US market, or is that like your plan because of the shipping regulations and you just make one batch and it's sold internationally? Because I was able to get my hands on the splashes, because they won't send me alcohol from West Coast Shaving because that's great. Because of the rules, right? But this one, there's no alcohol in there, which I loved. It's like I was like, oh, I finally been able to get a aftershave product.
An aftershave, yes. So originally, when I first started making the soap and matching splashes, I was putting alcohol in them.
Correct.
Because I was selling. I wasn't in the international market yet. I was just selling to the shaving community here in South Africa. And I knew alcohol is a huge problem for crossing international borders. So I had to think of a formula. I had to reinvent the formula of that splash in such a way that I eliminated alcohol completely.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I did, because to be quite honest with you, I don't even sell the alcohol version in South Africa anymore, because I find that the non-alcohol is much better, you know, because what I've actually done is I've replaced the alcohol completely. So because I took the alcohol out, I had to replace the alcohol with witch hazel,
right,
and rose water, which both work fantastically on your skin anyway.
Correct.
You know, so I was worried that it would affect the quality of the scent, but it didn't. There wasn't much of a difference at all, and that really impressed me. So I decided to do away completely with the alcohol-based splashes, and now I just do completely non-alcoholic. And for some customers who want a custom-made splash, and if they request alcohol, I'll do it for them. But that's only like with customers locally, you know.
Right.
But I try to stay away from alcohol. Alcohol just, you know, it dries your skin. It doesn't compare to witch hazel. I mean, it costs a lot more actually to make a splash and not put alcohol. Alcohol is really cheap, you know, to put in a splash. But now if you go replace that with witch hazel and rose water, that's already pushing up your cost of the product substantially. Luckily enough, I was able to source good quality witch hazel and rosewater at a reasonable price as well, and still keep my prices the same. Which I'm very happy with that base in the splash. It works very well. I use most of my products. I believe I have to use them on myself before I even release anything. I use it a couple of times on my own skin, you know?
Right. Well, I mean, and to me, that's a huge win, right? I mean, it's not only do you the quality of the product is not compromised, but also it's not being able, you can sell it anywhere, and all of us are able to get that aftershave experience. And so, I mean, that's great. I mean, wow. So yeah, wow, very, very interesting. Is there anything that I'm missing? Is there anything that you think that others or people who are watching this channel who are maybe enjoy this like very detailed and in-depth information that I'm trying to provide? Is there anything that you think like would be kind of cool for people to understand or know? Or
a lot of inquiries that I get from customers worldwide through Messenger and social media is, I've noticed it's in big demand in Europe, and I get a lot of inquiries from the UK as well. And for everyone watching, I want to tell them, look, I'm not stopping until I get these things certified, and I will make them available in Europe, no matter what it takes, and I will make them available in the UK. It's only going to be a matter of time. So yeah, just
be patient.
You've heard it from my mouth. I'm not stopping it in America or Canada. I mean, there's huge demand in Europe. There's huge demand in the UK, and the quicker the better. We're really working hard at it, and it's going to be another 2 or 3 months, but it's going to get there.
That's awesome. Yeah. So, I mean, so just, do you think that maybe the scents would have to be just dialed back a little bit, or do you think the scents are going to be fine?
Well,
you have no idea. You're just going to wait and see.
Well, the chemists we're working with at the moment, they haven't complained about the percentages that I've been using.
Awesome.
So I don't think that will be an issue, because I think they would have told me.
Right.
Yeah. So no, my scents will remain the same.
Okay.
If I could look, I myself like making strong scented products. Not everyone likes strong scented products, so I have a bit of a variety.
Yeah.
But if it was up to me, I'd make them a bit stronger. But I don't want to go over those limits.
Right. Of course. Yeah. You want to be able, and I think everybody in the EU don't want you to do that either. They want to get their hands on your product. You're getting a lot of them inquiries and like, hey, when am I going to get it? We want it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So you're not going to give up. Obviously, you just want everyone to know that. And yeah, can't wait for that.
No, my goal is to get the UK is around the corner.
The UK is around the corner.
Focus on UK is around the corner. I can feel it.
Yeah.
We've been over a few bumps already.
Yeah.
There was a lot of documentation that we had to get. But it's all there. All the paperwork is there. Now we're just waiting for approval. So
tell me, what is where like these soaps are on their journey? How do they get to the US? So they obviously leave Johannesburg or a different town out of South Africa, or like what is
I'm the route?
Yeah, what is the route?
Well, I'm based in Johannesburg, South Africa.
Okay.
And look, I don't use the local post office in my country. It takes too long. Sometimes you find packages go missing, which I don't like. So I only use places like DHL or FedEx.
Private
And
carriers,
I
yeah.
find that in South Africa, FedEx offers a great service, and they're quite a lot cheaper than DHL. So I always use FedEx.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even look anywhere else anymore because I know FedEx has got the best prices.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I use. I use FedEx. It usually goes from here to Dubai, and then that's the connecting country. It sits in customs there sometimes, or clearances, and then it flies off to the next country. So usually it's just from here to Dubai, and then the origin, the destination country.
Right. So it would be like, because I know there's direct flights from Dubai to LA. I know the Emirates flies. So there are, and obviously there's flights from Canada there. So okay, so everything is done by air freight.
Yes.
Yeah, very interesting. Okay, well, I mean, man, I'm so happy that you were able to make time for us here. Fernando.
Awesome. No, I'm a big fan. I really like what you're doing. You're very unique. You're actually the only YouTuber that I know that showcases all these products. And I think it's very useful for all the wet shavers. It really shows them what's available out there and what they can expect from the product. And it's really awesome, the work that you're doing.
Well, I appreciate that. I knew that, and that's the only reason why I do it is for, for the people to understand what's out there, because that's something that I wanted and I didn't see it. And so I thought, hey, I might as well just do it. But that means a lot, and I appreciate that. And I think that, I know I can speak for many people in the US and probably throughout Canada too, and say that we're a big fan of your products. I mean, just the price.
Thank you, man.
Price per ounce, the scents, the lather, everything about it is
I appreciate it.
Really, really, man, it's hard. I mean, Sterling is a powerhouse, right? Sterling is the king, and for you to be mentioned, near that, means that you're doing a great job. And so,
thank you.
Keep it up.
And it's only going to get better. It's only going to get better.
Yeah, it is.
I do this part-time. Maybe in the near future, I'll decide to do it full-time. And if I do it full-time, then there's going to be home runs. There's going to be home runs being hit here.
Yeah. No, I got you. Definitely, right? Because you're not spending the time you want, right? So, I mean, that's just exciting for us as a consumer. Like, wait, what? It can actually get better. Like, like, wow.
Yes.
But
I'm actually working. I'm working on balms as well, aftershave balms.
Oh, cool.
Matching aftershave balms. They're not going to be released anytime soon until I'm 100% happy with their performance. So once those are ready, then I'll also be making those available. So there'll be splashes, soaps, and balms.
Nice.
But I think the balms are still a while away.
Well,
I'm still doing a lot of work on soaps, so it doesn't leave me much time for the balms yet.
Well, but
I am working on them.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Go ahead. I know what I was going to say was, there's no rush on the balms because your splash doesn't have alcohol. So I think that's one of the main reasons we're going balms. So you've already, addressed that. So,
and the post-shave feel I make my soaps with the very good post-shave properties,
Mm-hmm.
Most of my customers say they don't even use balm after they use my shaving soap.
Well, witch hazel and rose water are, I mean, just me personally, I don't see any need for anything else. I mean, that's more than enough.
Yes.
Oh, more than yeah. I mean, it's quite good.
But you know the hobby. We want to collect and we want to get as many different items as we can. Eh?
Right. Like all this stuff. Yeah.
No, also it's a fantastic hobby. Eh? It's a fantastic.
Yeah. Hey, so let me ask you this. What razor do you use?
My most go-to razor is definitely the Merkur Future.
The Future.
I love the adjustability of it,
Mm-hmm.
I like to do a 3-pass shave and start off on an aggressive setting, second pass, tame it down a bit, and then the last pass, make it very tame. And it works beautifully for me, man.
Yeah, yeah. And do you bowl lather? Do you tub lather? Do you face lather?
I think a bit of all of those. It depends if I've got the time. I like to do a good bowl leather.
Yeah.
If I usually do a bowl leather if I'm testing one of my soaps for the first time, because I want to see how it performs and how much water it can handle and what hydration levels it can take and all of that. So usually I do a bowl leather when I'm testing it for the first time.
Nice.
But yeah, so half the time I do a bowl leather, half the time I do a face leather.
You know, it just came to my mind here, and I can't believe I didn't think about this earlier. But so you make your soaps at home?
Yes, that's correct.
Do you do it yourself, or do you have family that helps, or like are you just doing it all by yourself?
Well, now that I was doing it all by myself.
But now that everyone is buying it.
But now that it's expanded so much, and sometimes when I get these big orders, then the wife pitches in, and my stepdaughter sometimes pitches in as well.
Okay.
And yeah, that helps a lot. One of the things, I love making soap, but one of the things that I find a bit monotonous, and I'm sure all artisans will agree with this, is the actual labeling of the soap. So sometimes when you've made, let's say, 500 soaps for an order, I'm just giving you an example, I don't think people realize how monotonous and how boring it can be to sit in and label all those soaps and make sure that they're labeled properly and make sure that there's no air bubbles in. It's not as easy as it seems.
Yeah. So this, I'm glad you're sharing this. Continue.
Yes, and luckily the wife does that. She doesn't mind doing the labeling, but that's only on big orders. If it's smaller orders, then I take care of it myself.
So, I mean, you know, that's the other thing too. Like I've always talked about, and people will hear this in my videos, that, you know, I don't think people understand what goes into these soaps, right? And the details, and I try to highlight those details. And one thing that you know, these are handmade, right? They're all handmade, and
yes,
I often say, like, you know, I have never come across a label that was like half off the tub, and, you know, the sticker was hanging off on the side. It's not like there's a machine that is going through and chunk, chunk, chunk. It's someone actually like peeling off the label, yes, and like taking time,
stitching it on,
making sure that it lines up, and then going down. And then it's like sometimes we will see videos, and then people are like, well, you know, I see there's an air bubble there, or maybe the label's coming on the side. And I'm thinking to myself, you know, it's like,
you know, sometimes that those air bubbles actually come from sitting in transit. It's quite possible that if it's very hot, sometimes that the vinyl on the stickers can expand a bit.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I think people are very, very accommodating.
Yeah, I agree. And so, yeah, I mean, I just think like I just think like, one, you talked about how you threw away a lot of soap, right? Like getting to the point, yes, where and I think a lot of people don't realize that you had to buy those raw materials. You had to test. It didn't work out. You throw away. You didn't make any money on that. You lost money on that. You buy another batch of raw materials. You make yourself. Okay, it's not right. Not really what I want. Okay, I'll throw that away. You know, you weren't able to sell that. I think a lot of people don't realize like how much like time and money and thought and, you know, risk, right? What if no one buys? Yes. What if no one buys your soap, right? I mean, and you put all that, you know, and that's why for me, I just feel like I'm just in awe when someone makes a high quality soap like this, and it just, I mean, and that's what I wanted to kind of like put out in the video and really, or in the videos that I do that highlight that. And so I'm really glad that you're being able to share with us kind of the stuff that none of us know about. And
I'm excited to be able to share it. Yes.
yeah, so man, is there anything else, Fernando? I mean, I just love you, man. You're such a great guy. And you know, it's like
Awesome. Thank you, man.
you know,
All I gotta say, I think it's more of a passion. I think it's because I love the hobby so much. It doesn't feel like work, you know. It feels like I'm doing something I enjoy, like a gamer playing Fortnite, for example.
yeah,
You know?
oh, Fortnite, which I love, right? Or like going out and playing around.
I enjoy making these soaps. I enjoy making these splashes, and I think, yeah, I put my heart into it, and I think that's what makes the product.
Yeah, definitely. It is. It's the blood, sweat, and tears, and it's the love, right? It's the love that you put in, and it comes across. It does. It really does. I mean, you make high quality products, Fernando, and I think once people start getting, you know, trying them out and seeing how they perform, I think they will realize in the price, you know, that yeah, you've got a home run here, and it's only the beginning, and only a year in. Unbelievable, so fast.
And so I'm always tweaking. There's going to be more tweaks made on these bases. They're only going to get better.
Oh, baby. That's awesome.
They're only going to get better.
Yeah. Well, is there anything else you wanted to share, Fernando? I think you've answered more than what I've had. I've learned so much. I really appreciate your time. Is there anything else you wanted to share before we leave here? Or?
I think I've covered pretty much all of it, man. Unless you have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer them.
No, I think I think you have done a great job in sharing, you know, what goes into, you know, everything. And I just think it's an amazing story of, you know, during a pandemic, someone is able to put together something that actually touches individuals around the world, and in less than a year. I mean, it's just an amazing story. So I'm just
thank you. It could also be luck, eh? It could also be luck. Yeah. I think to come across a good formula, you know, some people try years and years and years, and they don't get it, you know.
Yeah.
I can understand that. There's a lot of, I'm sure there's tons of people that have tried to make shaving soap and weren't successful. Only God knows where I was. But I'm happy, man. I'm really excited. It makes me really proud to see my product out there, and I love seeing people enjoying using it. And my goal is not to become rich from this. You know, my goal is to provide a great quality product that's affordable, that people can actually go and buy and say, you know what, I'm getting a whole 6 ounces of soap for $15, you know?
Unbelievable.
I know there's some soaps out there that are really, really expensive, and one has to sometimes think twice about buying that. And I don't want that as a factor for my product, you know? I want people to be able to try everything. Not just, I've got 1 cent from Master Soap Creations. I want people to have every single cent in the range, you know?
Like me. Yeah, exactly right.
Not that we're gonna use all the soap, but it looks very good on the shelf. I mean, look behind you. Look how good your room looks.
Yeah, so it's a work in progress. I've got some books here that I need to you know, find a home for. But yeah, so all of these soaps that you see in the back are soaps that I have tried. There's about 50 of them in the bathroom that I filmed, but I have not used yet. And so I'm very strict with myself. I will not, like for instance, frosted lavender came in, right? I have no idea what it smells like, but I need to film that first. And to me, that is more of an incentive to put out the content for the people.
Yes, exactly.
And this is why I make the playlist. So I have all the different artisans, and if people are looking for something, they can go and look, and then be able to kind of see what you know, what the soap is about, and hopefully just have a little bit better idea. Like I won't tell people, you notice I don't tell people, hey, you should go out and buy this soap, right? I don't do that because I don't know. Everyone has different you know, the scents are subjective, right? They're very personal.
Yes, exactly.
But at least people can understand what the soap is about, and maybe they'll learn more about it, and then they can consider, hey, maybe I will buy it, or you know what, maybe that's not to me, you know. But yeah, no.
Exactly.
This is definitely what I do, and I have like 150 under here. Yours is part
Wow.
of.
And you've just started as well. I mean, you're quite new, like you said.
Me and you, Fernando, are two animals. We are. We are just we are head deep into this hobby, and we care and we love it, and yeah, that's
Awesome.
yeah. So
I just I hope more people catch on to this hobby. The only one thing that saddens me is to know that so many people around the world don't shave this way. You know, they don't know what they're missing.
correct.
You know, I never used to enjoy shaving until I started shaving like this, and now I look forward to it. It's
Same.
awesome. I actually can't wait for the hair on my face to grow. I wish it would grow faster.
Exactly, correct. Yeah, like I head shave. I shave every day. I never used to shave every day. It was like maybe every 2 days, but because it was not fun. Now in this hobby, like, yeah, I shave every day, and I shave my head and my face every day because I just enjoy this scent, and I can just get enveloped in this. But I wanted to point out that people like you, Fernando, who are putting out high-end quality products at a low-end price or an affordable price. This will make the odds of more people trying it. And, if we share, and I've shared with other YouTube friends, I've sent them samples, and, I want them to try it because I think, like, once they try it, I mean, even like IMCDB, he was blown away, right? So
Yes.
I sent him the cherry freeze. He loved it. He bought scents.
Yes, he's bought a couple.
He's bought.
And that's my goal.
Yeah,
that is my goal.
That's how it starts. And we share with our family and our friends, and then we tell them, like, hey, it's actually not that bad. It's actually cheap or affordable. And
affordable, yeah.
Yeah.
Until
affordable.
you get hooked on the hobby, and then you just buy 100 soaps.
Exactly. Who could that be?
There's
right?
worse hobbies out there than wet shaving.
No, that is true. That is true. And your skin is going to be in a better shape. So it's almost like you're taking care of yourself at the same time. And that's the way I look at it.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. So, well, definitely. Fernando, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. I think everyone who is going to watch this video is going to are echoing the same sentiments. They are very appreciative of you sharing, and they, you're able to kind of like talk about you and your brand, and we get to learn more about what it's like for an artisan, and and especially coming from South Africa. Wow. Such an exotic place. I really want to go.
And South Africa, there's the wet shaving community is not very big at all. It's quite a small group of wet shavers. Yeah.
Oh.
But I think it will grow. Hopefully, it will carry on growing. But yeah, for now, that's why I make my soap available internationally, and hopefully, people continue to enjoy it, and I'll continue to bring out new and wonderful scents. I don't want to disclose too much about the new scents that I've got up and coming, because then it won't be a surprise anymore.
Yes, save it. Don't leak. Don't leak. I'm looking forward to it. So, Fernando, thank you again. Really appreciate it. You're very welcome.
Keep up the great work, and I really enjoy watching your channel, and I think it's really going to grow. You're gonna have 1,000 subscribers before you realize it.
That's insane. I never thought that would happen. It's not the goal. This is just a stress release from being part of a huge corporation. But yeah, no, it's good. I have a really great family here, and so with that, everyone, as always, I will end this video like I always do. Take care of one another. Look at this beautiful interaction here we had. We're smiling, we're enjoying each other, we're sharing. We could do that with a lot of people, and really glad that you were able to watch this. And I know Fernando is very grateful for all of you. And yeah, we'll see you in the next video. And as always, peace and aloha. Take care, Fernando.
You too, man. And thanks.
Right.
Thanks, everyone.
Take care. Aloha.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Bye.